So you want to make movies or TV shows or even just like really dope TikToks, right? Well, let me tell you, it ain't just about having a cool story or funny actors, though that helps for sure. There's this whole other layer, this visual language that can take your stuff from meh to whoa, that's art. I'm talking about camera angles and how you frame your shots, the composition. These things are like the secret spices in your grandma's cooking. They make everything hit different, taste better, and leave people wanting more. Think about your favorite scenes from movies or shows that just stick with you. Chances are they didn't just to look amazing. Nah, somebody, a director, a cinematographer, someone with a vision made very specific choices. They thought long and hard about where to put that camera. They obsessed over what was in the shot and what was left out, how the light hit just so, what colors were prominent. This isn't some accidental oops, it looks good situation, it's deliberate, it's craft. And it's something you can learn to make your own stories pop off the screen. Mastering these visual tools, camera angles, and composition. It's like unlocking a new superpower. For real, let's get into making your visuals as strong as your ideas. Alright, let's talk angles. First up, the eye-level shot. This one's pretty straightforward, you know. The camera is like right at the character's eye level. It's the way we usually see people in real life when we're having a conversation or just existing in the same space. So it feels natural, comfortable, and familiar. This angle is the bread and butter of a lot of scenes because it mirrors our everyday human experience, making it instantly relatable for the audience. When you use an eye-level shot, you're putting the audience on the same footing as the character. It builds a connection, a sense of normalcy, and allows the viewer to engage with the character directly, without any visual cues telling them how to feel about that person. Think about a scene where two friends are just chilling, talking about their day, maybe over coffee or on a park bench. An eye-level shot makes you feel like you're part of that hangout, like you're the third friend sitting right there with them. It's a go-to for creating empathy and relatability, which is super important for character-driven stories, trust me. It's often the most honest way to present a character or a situation, allowing the performance and dialogue to shine without overt visual manipulation. Okay, so we've done eye level, the neutral ground. Now let's switch it up and get a different perspective. Imagine the camera is positioned up high looking down on your subject. That's a high angle shot. It's like you're a bird or maybe a security camera catching something sketchy, or just someone with a really good view from a second story window. This angle changes everything, for real. It immediately alters the relationship between the audience and the subject, creating a distinct emotional or psychological effect. When you shoot from a high angle, the subject tends to look smaller, physically diminished within the frame. They can seem vulnerable, weak, or insignificant as a result. It's a great way to visually communicate that a character is in trouble, feeling overwhelmed, or perhaps being oppressed by forces larger than themselves. Think about it. If someone's literally looking down on you, how does that make you feel? Probably not too great, right? This visual cue taps into that innate understanding of spatial dynamics and status. So if your character is having a particularly rough day, feeling defeated after a major setback, or is in a dangerous spot where they lack control, try a high angle. It can visually tell the audience this person is not in control right now, or this situation is dire. Powerful stuff, these angles. Alright, let's flip the script entirely. We went high, now we're going low. A low angle shot is when the camera is placed down low, sometimes even on the ground, looking up at the subject. Think about it. When you look up at something in real life, like a tall building or a monument, it usually seems bigger, more imposing, more significant, right? That's exactly the vibe this angle gives off in filmmaking. It's a classic technique to visually enhance a subject's stature and impact, making them loom large in the frame and in the audience's perception. This angle is the power move, the visual equivalent of a character puffing out their chest. It makes your subject look strong, dominant, or heroic. They tower over the viewer, literally. Superheroes? You bet they get a lot of low-angle shots as they prepare to save the day. It emphasizes their courage and strength. Villains, too, if you want them to seem menacing, intimidating, and in control of the situation. It's all about making someone look larger than life, sometimes in a good, awe-inspiring way, and sometimes in a not-so-good, fear-inducing way. But it's not just for making characters look like giants or gods. A low angle can also make the background seem more dramatic and expansive. So if you want to give your character an instant status boost, make them appear formidable, or make a situation feel super dramatic and significant, the low angle is your friend. Section 5, getting all up in their business, the extreme close-up. Now let's get real close, like uncomfortably close sometimes. We're talking about the extreme close-up, or ECU. This isn't just a regular close-up of a face, this is like just the eyes filled with unshed tears, or a burning rage, or a twitching finger hovering over a trigger, or a single bead of sweat slowly tracing a path down a terrified character's temple. It's about isolating a tiny detail and making it huge, making it the whole entire world for that specific moment, forcing the audience to focus intently on it. There's no escape from the intensity of an ECU. An extreme close-up magnifies emotions in a way no other shot can. You see every flicker in an eye, every subtle muscle movement around a tense jaw, every quiver of a lip. It can make the audience feel what the character is feeling with visceral immediacy, whether it's profound fear, overwhelming love, simmering anger, or deep confusion. It's like you're inside their head or right up against their skin, experiencing their innermost turmoil or joy. This shot isn't just for faces, though. An ECU can focus on a crucial object, turning it into a symbol or a key plot device. By making that small detail fill the entire screen, you're screaming at the audience, this right here is super important. Section 6, framing it right. What's shot composition anyway? Okay, so we've talked angles, super important, no doubt. They dictate the audience's perspective on a subject, but there's another piece to this visual puzzle, an equally crucial one, shot composition. Sounds fancy, maybe a little intimidating, but it's basically just how you arrange everything. All the visual elements within the frame of your camera, what's in the shot, where is it placed, what's around it, and what's deliberately left out. It's like setting the stage for your scene or arranging furniture in a room to make it feel a certain way. Every choice matters. Think of your camera frame as a canvas. You're the painter or maybe the interior designer of that little rectangular world. You decide what goes where to make the prettiest or most impactful picture. Good composition guides the viewer's eye smoothly through the frame. It tells them where to look first, what's important, and how the different elements relate to each other. Bad composition, well, that can just be confusing, cluttered, or even worse, visually boring. Section 7, the rule of thirds, making your shots pop. All right, let's dive into one of the big ones for composition, a real fan favorite, the rule of thirds. Don't let the word rule scare you, it's more like a super helpful guideline. Imagine your screen, your camera frame is divided into 9 equal squares, like a tic-tac-toe grid. You get this grid by drawing 2 imaginary lines going across, horizontally, and 2 imaginary lines going down, vertically. Super simple concept to visualize, but it makes a huge difference in how your shots look and feel, taking them from amateur to ooh, that looks professional real quick. The basic idea is to place the important stuff in your shot, your main character, a key object, the horizon along these lines, or even better, where these lines intersect. Those 4 intersection points are like little power spots in your frame, so instead of sticking your main character dead center all the time, which can feel a bit static or like a passport photo, try putting them on one of the vertical lines, or maybe their eyes, a really important focal point, land precisely on one of those intersecting points. It just feels more balanced, more dynamic, and more visually interesting to our brains. Why does this work so well? Well, our eyes are naturally drawn to these off-center points. It creates a more dynamic image than just centering everything, which can sometimes feel a bit too symmetrical or confrontational. It gives the subject room to breathe within the frame, or room to look into if they're facing a certain direction. Section 8, lines, space, and balance, more composition gold. Beyond the trusty rule of thirds, there are other cool composition tricks and elements you can use to make your visuals even more compelling. Let's talk leading lines first. These are lines that are naturally present within your shot. Think of a road stretching into the distance, a winding river, a fence line, the edge of a building, even a character's outstretched arm or their intense gaze that draw the viewer's eye towards a specific point of interest in the frame. They literally lead the way, like a visual path for the audience to follow. Leading lines are fantastic because they add depth and dimension to your image, making it feel more three-dimensional and immersive rather than flat. They guide the audience's attention right where you want it to go, making sure they don't miss the important stuff, like the main subject or a crucial detail in the background. Imagine a long, shadowy hallway leading to a single, brightly lit door at the end. Your eyes just follow that path, building anticipation. It's a powerful way to direct focus, create a sense of scale, and build a little intrigue or narrative momentum. Then there's the concept of negative space. This is the empty or seemingly empty area around your main subject or subjects. Don't underestimate its power. It's not just wasted space, it's an active compositional element. Lots of negative space can make your subject feel isolated, small, or lonely, especially if they are positioned to one side. Section 9. Putting it all together, angles plus composition equals sign movie magic. So, we've got camera angles down, understanding how they can make someone look powerful or vulnerable. We've got shot composition in our toolkit, knowing how to arrange things in the frame to guide the eye and create a mood. Now, the real magic, the stuff that gives you goosebumps, happens when you put them together. It's not about using one technique or the other in isolation. It's about how they dance, how they combine and complement each other to tell your story in the most impactful, emotionally resonant way possible. This is where you really start to cook with gas, you know? This is where your filmmaking voice truly emerges. Imagine a character feeling utterly defeated and alone. You could use a high angle to make them look small and insignificant. That's the angle doing its heavy lifting. Then you could use the rule of thirds to place them off-center, perhaps in a corner of the frame, surrounded by a vast expanse of negative space. That's composition enhancing the feeling. See how that combo really hammers home the feeling of isolation, despair, and vulnerability? It's a 1-2 punch with both angle and composition working in perfect harmony to convey a complex emotion without a single word needing to be spoken. Or think about a tense confrontation between two characters. Maybe you use a low angle on the antagonist to make them feel powerful and threatening, looming over everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.